Hey guys, Sandy here. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to Follow a Sketch Friday and Mixed Media Mayhem. So, fun fact, I got to pick the Mixed Media Mayhem recipe today. I chose paint, stencils, and embossing because I love all three of them. And then the sketch that I'm using for Follow a Sketch Friday is this one by Stacy Daubenberger from Sketch and Scrap blog. This is layout sketch 207. So I've got this, I've got my photo, which has a story behind it. So let's see what I can do. All right, guys, so I am not using my ATGs right now, and that is because all three of my ATGs are still empty, and I have not taken the time to actually go ahead and refill them. Now, is that lazy? Yeah. Is that a problem? No. I have plenty of other options of adhesive. So I've got this roll of double-sided sticky tape, and I am going to go ahead and use that. So I did decide that what I was doing was not what I wanted to do. So I'm going to change directions a little bit. I wanted to put this stencil down over top of the background. Yes. Can you believe it? I actually do use stencils that aren't mine. Let's be honest, it's few and far between, but there are times where I have not yet designed a stencil in the manner of which I need. So I have to use stencils that are not mine. Now, have I been thinking about having a word stencil? Yes, I have. Do I know what words I want to put in? No, that's the problem. That's why I haven't done it yet. So, in case anybody was wondering, yes, I do use other stencils. I actually don't know where this stencil came from. I'm not exactly sure which brand it is, and of course, they didn't do me a solid and actually put their name on the stencil. Not even their website. So nothing. I have no idea. So if you know what stencils it is, that's awesome. Let me know if you want me to know too. Otherwise, I just don't know. So I am taking some paper artsy paints, and I believe the color is Marbles. And what I'm doing with that is just painting it through the stencil. Now, in some places I'm painting it thick, and because this is a liquid wet paint, you guys, it is going to seep under the stencil. There will be kind of like paint leakage. It sounds so gross when you say it that way. Oh, she suffers from paint leakage. But you know what? It's fine, right? It's a messy mixed media background. It is going to be absolutely fine. So I'm not actually terribly concerned about it. I am just going to go with it. And when I pull it off, it's perfect. Like, the whole point of the background is just to give it some cool little words. There is no reason that you need to actually be able to read the background of this stencil, especially, why is my kitchen faucet leaking? Okay, probably because I'm making fun of stencil leakage. Anyway, I am standing in my kitchen doing this voiceover, which is not something I normally do, but I am standing next to my Christmas tree that I now have in the kitchen. So just a side little note here. You guys know that it is my dream and ambition to have a Christmas tree in every single room in my house. And we are well on our way to that direction. This year I have a black and white tree on the kitchen counter. It's only a little 3-foot tree, but it counts. I'm telling you, it counts. So I have that tree in front of me. I have an Americana tree off to my left behind me, and then not a real Christmas tree. I'm allergic to trees, people. I am allergic to trees. Our big Christmas tree, our floor-to-ceiling Christmas tree, is on the other side of me on the opposite side, and it's not decorated yet. all the trees are not decorated yet. Not all the trees are even fluffed yet. So anyway, let's stop talking about Christmas trees and let's talk about what I'm actually scrapbooking, huh? That might be fun. So I am using yet another stencil that does not belong to me. This is a Paige Taylor Evans stencil, and it is a bunch of mini stars. It's a great stencil. It's a great stencil. I need one similar in 12 by 12. Even though I have the All-Star stencil and now the November stencil of the month, I need more variety in my stars, I think, because I love star stencils. They're my favorite. Let's just be freaking honest there. Star stencils are my favorite. So I took some Milky Way, I think, embossing powder from Brutus Monroe and went ahead and dropped that embossing powder on there. And it is turning from a powder to this silvery, black, smoky, like smooth and melty goodness, right? So you can't really pick up the silver on the camera unless I turn the paper just so, but it is there, I promise. Oh, and I also added that gray paint along the edges where that little diagonal bit was. But I was probably waxing poetic about Christmas trees and wasn't really looking to see what I was doing. So yeah, I am going to use my heat tool to just dry the paint a little bit more. Now, evidently, I don't dry the paint completely because I do get some paint spillage on, you know, around, but it's fine, you guys, it's fine. So I'm figuring out where I want that pink paper to go. And I'm putting down my November 2022 stencil of the month. So this is the stencil that if you signed up by November 14th, I think the cutoff date is. If you signed up by November 14th, you get this stencil and it starts shipping on the 15th. So next month, if you want to join Stencil of the Month Club, you got to join by December 14th, and then they start shipping on the 15th. So anyway, that is the stencil I'm using. I'm using Marshmallow Puff, I think it's called, embossing powder. So this embossing powder is actually pretty cool. It doesn't get smooth and melty. It kind of stays a little bit puffy and textury, and that is pretty awesome. So what I wanted to do was introduce another texture on this page because I've got the paint, I've got the smooth melty embossing powder, I've got paper. I'm thinking about bringing in some sort of ribbon, which doesn't actually happen, but I do use a bunch of different papers. And then I am going to emboss the heck out of this bad boy as well. So while we're watching my stars magically not turn smooth and melty, but get puffy and hard, let me take a moment to remind you about a couple things. Boy, I feel like I'm just telling you all kinds of things right now. So Mixed Media Mayhem is a weekly series that happens here on YouTube with a group of us. The links to everyone's channels will be down below. Not everyone ends up playing every week, sadly, but most of the time, most of us do. So everyone's link will be down below. You can follow along the recipe that we are using each week, or the sketch, or the inspiration layout, or whatever we choose to use. There is a Facebook group that you can join. The Mixed Media Mayhem's Facebook group. That will be linked down below as well. So if you want to play along with Follow a Sketch Friday, you're going to want to join the Scrapping Reflections Facebook group for that. The layout is posted on Friday, usually later on Fridays. That's just the way it happens. But that is there in the Scrapping Reflections Facebook group, and that link is down below as well. So now I have finally finished my background. So now it is time to get the paper and the photo and the story actually on the page. So I'm taking that pink sheet one more time and I'm going to adhere it down. I'm trying to figure out where I want it to go. When I first put it down on the page, it was in the dab smack center of the layout. Decided I don't want it in the dab smack center. I want it off to the left a little bit. So I go ahead and do that. And I will say that this double-sided sticky tape is sticky. Like, it sticks, okay? Like, it's, you know when I want my stickers to stick? Yeah, this double-sided sticky tape is sticky. Sticky. Capital S-T-I-C-K-Y, sticky. Although I really wish sticky was spelled with an IE because I'm Sandy with an IE, and sometimes I think it's more fun that way. Anyway, it is super sticky, so I do rip some things and stuff like that as I'm trying to stick this stuff down, but I'm determined to use this roll up now. That's the thing. This is what happens to me, right? Like I'm perfectly content with having a stash of supplies in my room. There are things that I want to use up so I can buy more, like paper and stickers and mixed media. Like those are the things where I'm constantly trying to use them because I do use them all the time, and then I get to buy more. And then there are things like adhesive where I'm like, I'm happily sitting here with an entire tote full of adhesive because I'm happy that it's there for when I need it in an emergency situation. Not that I don't know why I would need it for an emergency situation, but sometimes you do. And then I realize, holy crap, I've got this whole roll of double-sided sticky tape. I need to use it. So that's I don't know. That's where I'm going with that. I did pull out the Spectrum Sherbet die cuts. So these are the blues and the greens. And I will tell you, I definitely love teal blue and gray together. I love that a lot. I am putting that tad bit of pink in there because I don't care what anybody says. It's a great color combo. I know that many scrapbook lines for a long time, all we were seeing was pink and aqua, pink and aqua, pink and aqua. And you know what? Yeah, that's all we see is pink and aqua because you know what? It's a great color combination and it sells. That's why, people. That is why. Okay. Off of that little rant. So now I am just figuring out how to incorporate that little second photo square that is in the sketch onto my layout because I'm not putting a second photo down. It's just a one photo story. It's probably not even a story that even needs to be told, but it was super frustrating to me for a long time. So fun fact, both of our cars are enabled with hands-free calling, so it's got Bluetooth capabilities, all that kind of good stuff. And the car I had before this did it as well. So Christopher and I both connected our phones to my car. Am I connected to his car? No. But we connect to, both of them connected to our car. So we would be driving down the road behind each other for whatever reason. And he would try to call on his phone and it would kick my phone off of my car and would connect to my car. And I would start hearing people answer the phone because his phone was connecting to my car. So that was super frustrating. And then I would be out by myself, nowhere near him. He would be at work and my phone wouldn't connect because it was connected to Christopher's. So it drove me up the wall. I would even put my phone in like the priority spot. It just wouldn't work. It just wouldn't work. It was super frustrating and I dealt with it for years and years and years. And then I got the Not Yet Corvette. If you don't know what a Not Yet Corvette is, it's what I drive right now. I will have a Corvette. I'm going to get me that beautiful C8. And that is the goal. But this is the Not Yet Corvette, right? Like this is the car that's the cheaper, less pep car that's just gonna like help me get that Corvette faster, right? So that's the goal. So this is the Not Yet Corvette. And I decided I wasn't putting up with the cars doing this nonsense with him anymore because this car started doing it too. And I was like, that's it. That's enough. You are not allowed to connect to my car, period, ever. Don't do it again. So I disconnected him and sent him a photo of it. And that was the end of Christopher being able to connect to my car. So I don't have a lick of trouble anymore connecting in my car. I can connect via Bluetooth and I can connect via CarPlay, and I am stupid excited about it because I don't have to get pissy every time I'm trying to do something in my car with my phone hands-free so I'm safe, and don't have to deal with him and his phone taken over. So this is a story that is kind of silly, but not so silly because it definitely gave me a fire in my belly about it. So My title is actually going to be Not So Silly. And I did fussy cut silly out of that die cut that said silly good fun or silly good time, one of them. I didn't think it was a silly good time. I just thought it was silly, but it wasn't that silly. You know, it's kind of one of those things where we joked about it and it was a joke, but it was kind of real and it was like, okay, like one of those kind of things. So yeah, I am going to finish this layout off with a little bit of extra decoration. I go ahead and put a label up there. I used some stamps to make that corner made that corner over the photo. Fill in that a little bit. Now I look at the photo because it is the screen in my car and it has the date on it. So I cheat and put the date on it that way. If only all of the photos came that way. Do you remember when we had digital cameras and the date could print on the front of the photo? That was so handy. So handy. And I know that it like put a date on the front of your photo, but it was handy, right? Like it was super handy. Anyway, I'm journaling about this, how Christopher and his phone like to supersede everything and connect to my car. And then at the end, I say that he's not allowed to connect to the not yet Corvette. So now I need to get some letter stickers. Now I was thinking about using a white letter sticker, and this is the size I want it to use. But these letter stickers are actually a little bit more creamy than white. And I thought that that would really clash this time. So a lot of the times I'm okay with mixing creams and whites. That doesn't bother me. This time I just looked at the cream sitting on top of the layout, just in the package, and I was like, no, that's not going to work. So I grab the black letters and change it to that, which turns out great. So it ends up saying Not So Silly. And then I'm like, I need a little bit more, right? Like I've got embossing, I've got paint, I've got paper layers, I've got all of the fun things, and now I need a little bit more. So I grab some enamel dots and I go ahead and put those down in 3 different places here on the layout, and it gives it a little extra texture. And then I decide I still need more. There's still something missing. I need more on this layout. So I grab the tiny heart confetti from Scrapping Reflections, and it is tiny hearts, you guys. The tiny heart confetti and the tiny star confetti are tiny. So I go ahead and dollop glue down in 10 spots, and I remembered, because I counted as I dolloped the glue, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Hey, look at me, I can count to 10. And then I grab the little wood veneer hearts with my crystal katana, and I am placing them down over top of the 10 glue dots. Now, my head's going to get in the photo real quick here because I couldn't find the last glue dot, so I eventually found it. That was a win. So I'm like looking for the glue, and I know I have one more. So I finished that off, and I'm like, yeah, I really love how those little wood grain hearts have added, but I still need something. So I'm off to the side in my sprays, and I'm looking for my black spray. And I know I have a couple of black sprays, and I can't find any of them. I'm like, where are they? So my sprays are in a stadium style, and for the most part, I can see it, but that very last row has browns and blacks on it, and I can't see it. So I'm like pulling up every single freaking spray I own in the back row trying to find it. I eventually find it, drizzle some sprays over there. It's the Heidi Swap Color Shine in Black Velvet, which means the Black Velvet song is running through my head right now, but I'm not going to sing. You're welcome. That is going to do it for this layout, you guys. Make sure you check out the links down below. Make sure you check out the Facebook groups down below, and I will see you guys again real soon for another video.